So the crypto market is red all across the board. And altcoins have suffered especially. Most altcoins are down 2-digit percentages, about 20 to even 30%. And Bitcoin took a nosedive and is also down 13 to 14%. Nothing beautiful, but there is a reason for it. And this reason is also not good. We are going to talk about it in this very short emergency update here on the crypto market. Hey everyone, it's the Patient Hodler coming at you with another very short crypto market update. If you enjoy these quick updates, then please let me know by smashing up the like button. And if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe right now with notifications on to never miss out on these very quick updates. So if we're looking at the market, we see Bitcoin is down about 8% or so, a little bit more even on the week. And we also see, and this is always like measured from 7 days ago, but if we look at the altcoins, it's an absolute bloodbath. So we are seeing here 22% down, XRP 24% on the week, Doge 20% down on the day. Avalanche down 20% on the day, 35% on the week. So this is not going on since today, but today is really bad, like accelerated. We see here Polkadot 16%, Matic 20%, Arbitrum's 36% down. Here we have Aptos 38% down on the week. So all across the board, we basically only see red. And there's a reason for that. But let's look first at Bitcoin. Bitcoin also lost this symmetrical triangle where we actually said that we would expect this to break to the upside with a very high percentage. We did not find that. Instead, we are down over the past week or so. We're down actually 15%, a little more than 15%, and we're now finding support here on the 60,000 or so. So we quickly wicked down. Now we're at 62,400. Now the reason for this is really not good. So if we look at this as breaking news, Iran has launched drone attack at Israel, say U.S. officials. So let's just read quickly the bullet points here, what's going on. Iran launched an attack on Israel, escalating long-standing tensions between the two nations. Iran accused Israel of perpetrating a strike on its consulate in Damascus on April the 1st and pledged to retaliate. And Israel also threatened a counterattack if Iran made any retaliatory moves, though Israel has neither confirmed or denied its involvement in the Damascus strike. So the situation, which is completely escalating, and I don't want to have this turn into a political discussion. So if you are already typing stuff in the comments about, Israel side or Iran side, probably better to keep it to yourself. If you want, put it in there, but it's not the topic of this channel. But we need to know what's going on, because we also know that uncertainty is bad for the market. Like, investors hate uncertainty, and whenever there is something like, for example, the debt ceiling in the US, is it going to be raised or not? Is there rate hikes or not? Is there rate cuts or not? Is there something unexpected in the market? Investors tend to pull money out of the market. And that's what we're seeing right now, because basically we have these drones. We have an escalation already going on since April the 1st, when in Damascus that strike was executed, basically. And, well, it's not good, obviously. We are technically, if you see this, we're at the brink of a war, because Israel hasn't denied that strike. Iran said they would retaliate. Israel said if they retaliate, they will basically basically enter a war. So that is the current situation. We'll see how hot it will get, or if kind of bigger nations can intervene and put this to rest before it escalates in a full-fledged war, in a hot war, so to say, right? Drones already pretty hot, but it can get a lot worse, so to say. Okay, so investors are pulling out money. That's what we're seeing right now. Investors hate uncertainty, and crypto is risky assets or risk-on assets. So the playbook for every investor trader is get the hell out of there if the uncertainty is too big. So that hence we have this pullback, or yeah, I would say it's a pullback. It's not really a crash because, I mean, if you zoom out a little bit, it's not too bad yet. But funny thing is, right before the halving, we again have some kind of a black swan event, which event in itself is not that funny. But let's look at a little bit more stuff here. Okay, so we looked at the altcoins. We're going to look at Vchain also, and yeah, let's first look at Bitcoin dominance. So excuse the lines here; they are from a previous stream. But what is important to see is that Bitcoin dominance is completely on a tear, and the reason is that Bitcoin is collapsing, but altcoins are collapsing way harder. So money is being pulled out of altcoins way more than out of Bitcoin, meaning that people are more comfortable with Bitcoin right now than with alts. So if we're seeing this on a weekly basis, which probably is not going to load, so let me reload here quickly. Let's see this on a weekly basis. Where is it? There is it. It did load. Okay, so what did we expect? Yes, we in fact expected this to break out and to rise. On the weekly, we see it's rising right now. Let me get rid of all of these confusing lines. We have observed this for a long time, and that's actually something that is expected, that we are having this big rise on Bitcoin dominance, and that money is flowing out of altcoins, maybe even into Bitcoin, although Bitcoin is going down. But once this bounces back, I expect Bitcoin dominance to rise. So this is the first thing. The second thing is that it is absolutely fantastic how accurate actually this pullback, even though triggered from an outside event, but how accurate this actually is if on our copied movement from the previous bull run. Because look at that. I mean, we took this blue line, and this is the altcoin market cap, right? This is the entire altcoin space. But we took this blue line from here, and we also had a pullback more or less at the same development, at the same range, and of similar percentages, even worse. At that time it was 28%, and now we are at 15 up, maybe 16%. But if you see here, it's just happening a little bit earlier. So that is interesting to me, at least. What we're also seeing is, if we're quickly looking at USDT dominance, which means basically how much of the percentage of the entire crypto market cap is in USDT, we had a huge spike up, meaning that people are really extracting money from crypto into move them into USDT. So this went so hard back up, or bounced back up on this support line, where we also expected it to bounce, that it broke above the previous, let's say, resistance that we would see here. So really a lot of money went out of the crypto market in this week. So that is something that I expect, that the money is moving back into it. But just so we see this here, very interesting stuff. Overall, let's talk a little bit about these altcoins. Everyone was like, oh, if there is one more dip, then this is a buying opportunity. I mean, Uniswap is down 43%. Now, Uniswap is getting sued by the SEC, so maybe that's not the coin that you want to have. But in here, there seem to be some pretty big bargains, right? I mean, all coins are 40% down across the board, which doesn't mean that you can buy any coin, but there are good projects like the Graph or Chainlink or stuff like that that are really down 35%. But right now, everyone is looking at that situation unfolding, and no one wants to allocate money into that, right? Because it could crash more. I'd say, for me personally, I'll buy the dip a little bit, to the point where I'm comfortable. But definitely for me, that's a buying opportunity. Funny thing is, Vchain, we're going to talk about Vchain in a second, is not down that much. It's like down 11%, and there's also a reason for it. But overall and across the board, I mean, here's Phantom, 30% down on the week. The Graph, 35% down on the week. There's Optimism, 32%. Casper, okay, 20%. But really, the things that are down like 30%, 37% or so, I'd look at them, right? I'd look at these projects here. And if you're not comfortable with allocating money in this market, Although these tend to be very good buying opportunities, if you are not comfortable at all, or the money that you would allocate is something that you would need in the next weeks and months to come, then I'd rather not do it. So nothing of that is financial advice. You do your own decisions and so on. But yeah, that is not good. Okay, so let's come to Vchain here. And let's look quickly at the chart. So Vchain was just on the verge of breaking out of this falling channel, I would say now, and broke back in. So the falling channel is still intact, as we didn't fall to the downside. And also here we see, right, Vchain had on this copied from the previous bull run also in the same area kind of a small crash. And now we're seeing the same thing happening here. But Vchain was on track, and Vchain is not down comparable to the other altcoins. Vchain is only down, well, from the week, Vchain is actually down 27%. So you could say it's comparable. But overall, on the week, Vchain is not down as hard as other altcoins. So let's talk about what is going on with Vchain and why there is bullish news. So this is coming for Vchain. Vchain said today marks a great step forward in our relationship with the UFC. Vchain powered NFC and blockchain technology will be integrated into fighter gloves, providing an immutable record usage and ensures fans receiving genuine products and authenticated by blockchain. This is really cool, and this enhances the let's get this out of the way, enhances the partnership with the UFC. So I think it's great. First of all, it's awesome that they directly have a trailer ready and that they are extending this partnership, this visibility partnership for Vchain. And I mean, something like this, a collectible physical item like fighter gloves that are with an embedded NFC chip, as we can see here, and that are tracked on the Vchain blockchain. This is something that showcases how the technology works. We're not talking about, oh yeah, that's mass adoption, like 100 fighter gloves or maybe a couple of hundred in the future. We're talking about a very prominent, visible showcase for the solution that Vchain offers for mass products in the future. So really, I would say this is phenomenal. This is fantastic that they have something like this, because this has a lot of eyes on it. And for the bull market, what's really necessary is that you are in the narrative, you're the number one in that space for example, supply chain, track and trace, for green story, and for anti-counterfeit, which is this here, right? So all the big brands of anti-counterfeit or that their products are getting counterfeited, they will see this stuff and they will probably move to Vchain as they have this showcase here. So this is obviously only my opinion, but I am pretty bullish on Vchain for the bull run. Now, all things said, with all that red, keep in mind, this happens in every bull run. The pullbacks are as nasty as minus 40%. So that can, if this stuff here with Ron escalates, that can cause more downside than this, right? But we saw that at the moment where the pandemic basically started, and everyone thought, okay, this is going to be really, really bad. Like this is going to be really bad, like a worldwide, global black swan and stuff like that. People thought it would be way worse than it actually was. Okay, so at that point, and even then, we did not put a new low for Bitcoin, and even then, people bought this up, and we basically went up in a V-shaped recovery. I mean, if you're looking back on, let's go to the weekly maybe, and just look back at this moment. It's this here, this mega drawdown. It was before the halving, and there were no Bitcoin ETFs, and people were scared as hell, and the markets outside also took a big hit. So what could happen is that crypto takes another big hit when the markets on Monday open deep in the red, because we saw that there were some correlations between the stock markets and the crypto market actually. So this was obviously global pandemic, yada, yada, yada. This was a mega 63% down, like 64% drawdown, and then a V-shaped recovery in the matter of only a couple of, weeks back above this level. So no matter how bad this gets, this conflict gets, it cannot be much worse than this. And this was like a great buying opportunity, and people did take advantage of this. So I'd say DCA is the way, without giving any financial advice. But I mean, we could say, okay, this is bad right now. This could be solved tomorrow, or at least put into a ceasefire tomorrow. Or it escalates tomorrow, and then we're going to have a black swan nosedive here, where people were like, imagine we have this pump because of the ETFs, right? So this is something. This pump, almost 200%, was because of the ETFs. Now, who's in the ETFs? Institutional players, people with big money. When can you trade the ETFs? Probably only Monday, right? So what if people are selling heavy ETFs on Monday because of the markets, like because they are all Wall Street, right? What if institutions say, okay, too risky, too hot, Middle East is set on fire, I'm out, thousands of Bitcoins hitting the market, and retail not really in yet or scared, also paper handing. This can be way worse than this. So I'd say if you have dry powder, a smaller percentage could go in right now. But this can, I mean, if we would have like a big draw, look, this could go easily to 48K, for example, right? With a black swan or so. This could easily go there. So let's have some dry powder, or I will have some dry powder ready to execute on such a buying opportunity. But wherever you are on the world, have yourselves, if you can, and if you're not part of these countries or a conflict, great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.